This documentary examines the 1987 Knightsbridge Security Deposit robbery. Some details are officially documented. Others come from court records, investigative journalism, and underworld rumors that were never fully confirmed. Where cinematic reconstruction is used, it is clearly implied, not stated as fact. In July 1987, a man didn't break into a vault. He didn't tunnel underground. He didn't hack an alarm system. He rented a safe deposit box and walked out with what some believe was close to £100 million. Most of it was never recovered. Valerio Vice was not an unknown criminal. By the mid-1980s, he was already linked to over 50 armed robberies across Europe. He was disciplined, calculated, professional. Police knew his name. They knew his methods. What they underestimated was his patience. Vice was already under scrutiny for violent robberies, yet he was still able to move freely in London, planning something far, far larger. How could a man so notorious operate right under their noses? The answer lies not just in his skill, but in the very place he chose to target. The Knightsbridge Security Deposit Center wasn't a bank. It didn't look like a fortress. Its clients were wealthy, discreet, and expected privacy, not suspicion. There were no metal detectors. The alarms were limited. The entire operation was designed around trust, not betrayal. This wasn't a high-security prison. It was more like a private club for the ultra-rich. Its greatest selling point, its atmosphere of quiet confidentiality, would become its most catastrophic weakness. For a man like Vici, this wasn't a challenge. It was an invitation. The plan was simple, and that's what made it so dangerous. Vici posed as a client interested in storing his own valuables. He rented a safe deposit box, becoming a familiar face to the staff. Then, on July 12th, he scheduled a private viewing. The manager led him into the vault area, leaving him in a quiet office. The keys were on the desk. The sound of a door closing was the last normal thing the manager heard. Suddenly, Vici and an accomplice produced guns. Within minutes, the guards were restrained. A sign was placed on the front door, closed. No alarms were triggered. No police were alerted. The vault was now theirs. 4 hours. The crew worked completely undisturbed. They used drills and crowbars to systematically open hundreds of boxes. Inside was a treasure trove, cash, jewelry, and bearer bonds, which are like cash, but in large denominations and completely untraceable. This was the kind of wealth that belongs to people who often prefer to stay in the shadows, people who would never publicly report their true losses. The official estimate from police was £60 million, but unofficial rumors and whispers from the underworld suggested the real number was far higher. Some former investigators later suggested that if you adjust for inflation and account for all the undeclared assets, the true figure could have approached £100 million. Not all losses were reported. Not all victims came forward. And that's where the real mystery begins. The crew didn't rush. They didn't panic. After hours of work, they simply left, blending back into the bustling streets of London. By the time police finally arrived, alerted by a staff member, after the robbers had long gone, the vault was empty. There were no suspects on the scene. There were no immediate leads. This wasn't the aftermath of a chaotic smash and grab. This was the result of flawless execution. Investigators quickly identified Valerio Vice as their prime suspect. A single bloody fingerprint left at the scene was all they needed, but by then, he was long gone. He fled to Latin America, living a life of luxury while Scotland Yard scrambled to catch up. The money moved even faster than law enforcement. The investigation highlighted critical failures. There were no real-time alarms that would have alerted police during the robbery. There was no rapid response protocol. The entire system relied on a trust-based model of security that Vice exploited perfectly. And most damning of all, a known, high-profile criminal was not being closely monitored, allowing him to plan one of the largest heists in British history. Some of Vice's accomplices were later arrested, and Vici himself was eventually caught when he foolishly returned to England to retrieve his beloved Ferrari. But the money? Only a fraction was ever recovered. So, Where did all the money go? This is where fact fades into silence and speculation takes over. Some believe the vast sums were expertly laundered through a global network of offshore accounts and shell companies, disappearing into the legitimate financial system. Others believe large portions were hidden, maybe buried, never to be touched. One unproven rumor suggests a significant part of the stolen wealth may still be sitting untouched somewhere, protected by a code of fear and loyalty among those who know its location. No complete inventory of the box's contents was ever released to the public. No full recovery ever happened, and to this day, no one has convincingly explained where the rest of the fortune went. The Knightsbridge robbery wasn't loud. It wasn't reckless. It was calm, professional, and devastatingly effective. It exploited human trust more than technical security flaws. Whether the true figure was £60 million or closer to 100 million, the result was the same. A vault emptied, a system exposed, and a legendary criminal who pulled off one of the cleanest, most audacious robberies in history, leaving behind a mystery that is still incomplete. Subscribe to Criminal Verse, where every crime hides a story.